Okay guys, we've got Zoey down here for our week 2 video recap. Oh my goodness, look at her. Right to the toy. Right to the toy, Zoey. Look at what you got. So we're going to start with a little bit of play. I brought a new toy for the puppies to check out this week. This is called the flirt pole. Oh, it's moving. It's moving. Yeah, you can get it. What a good girl. So basically it's just like a little toy, usually a little tug toy that is attached to the end of this pole here. And then it is fun for the puppies to maybe want to chase around. She's like, oh, I didn't know that it could move. Good girl. Yeah, you can get it. You're so silly. It's a nice toy that can teach your dog about bite inhibition and how to target and play with toys versus accidentally targeting and biting at us while we're playing, right? So instead of holding the toy in your hand, you've got it on this little pole, and then you can move it around at the end of the string, and it's fun for the puppies to chase. If they get it, like Zoey's grabbing it with her mouth, you could play a little bit of tug with it. This is brand new. This is the first time I'm showing this toy to the puppies, so some of them are a little unsure. Zoey is like, okay, I really want that toy, but I didn't know it could move on its own, right? So I'm not trying to make it move too crazy fast right now because I want to build up her confidence that she can run and pounce and chase this toy. Yeah, you're so silly. Get it, get it, get it. Good girl. Good girl. So I'm just flirting it around a little bit, and then I let it hold still, and I let the puppy grab it. And you can see now, once she has it, maybe I'll try to do a little bit of tugging very lightly. Very lightly. Good girl. There you go. Look at you, proud puppy. Look at you, proud puppy. Get it, get it. Oh yeah, now she's starting to chase it. Look at that. Look at that. This is one of my favorite toys for dogs. It's also like really easy on the handler. As you can see, all I'm doing is just standing here, and that we can get some energy out from the puppy. They can chase, pounce, bite, and I don't have to worry about trying to match that energy level myself. I also don't have to worry about the dog chasing or biting me because the toy is way out here on the ground, right? Good girl. If you're interested in getting this is my favorite flirt pole for big dogs, small dogs, puppies, whatever. We do have a link to this one on our website if you wanted to get one for your puppy. Where is that toy? Good girl. Yay. All right, I'm going to steal it from her right now. We'll bring it back out in a minute. But we're going to get started with some of our training exercises. All right, so real quick to get started, we're just going to recap some of the things that we did last week. Now, did you see that? This dog is conditioned to the clicker. She was running in the opposite direction. I clicked the clicker and she came right back to me because she knew that she was going to get a cookie. That's what I love to see. I love to see that, Zoey. What a good girl. Ready? Okay. Good girl. Can you find it? These cookies are kind of the same color as the ground. Real close. It's right here. Okay. Good girl. Now we're going to do some of that food lure. Remember, this is where the dog is attached to me. Yeah, good girl. Following that food lure around. Good girl, Zoey. Super dog. Zoey. Good. One more of those. Great. New game for week 2 for teaching the puppy their name. This is more like teaching them to respond to their name now. So I'm going to toss one on the ground. Okay. And then I'm going to make some space. Zoey. And then I'm going to call her back to me. Okay. I'm clicking when she starts to come back. Zoey. Good girl. Okay. Zoey. Super dog. Okay. Zoey. So now she's learning not just what her name is, okay, but that she should come to me, Zoey, when she hears me call it. Practice this game all over your house. Okay. Zoey, super girl. Also do it outside in the yard. The more places that you do it, the more that you can generalize the behavior to different environments. So this is a fun recall game that I play with puppies all over the place and for a long time, okay? Let's do some hand targets. We did that last week. Zoey, touch. Super. So you remember this is where I want the dog to target their nose to my flat palm. Zoey, touch. Good girl. Last week we were teaching this to the puppies, so we had food in our hand. This week, no food in my hand. Zoey, touch. But I'm still marking and feeding her for performing the behavior, okay? So I'm still rewarding her. Zoey, touch. Super. sure. I'm just not luring it anymore, okay? Zoey, touch. Wow, do you love hand targets? What a good girl. All right, let's take a little break from that. So super quick recap of what we did last week with the dogs. And we'll move on to some more new stuff in a second here. Oh, good girl, you got that toy. I think it's funny that this toy is like the same color as these dogs right now. Yeah, you get it. You get it. Where is it? No, don't jump on me. Get your toy. Yeah, there you go. I also think a flirt pole is great for kids to play with dogs. You know, sometimes you've got real young kids. The puppy wants to climb all over them. They get a little too excitable. They get too mouthy, right? This is a great way that your kids can play with the dog. Good girl. You want more food? You hungry? All right, let's move on to our next set of things. I'm gonna take that. All right, so we're gonna review sit real quick. What do I have? Come here. Get her on that food lure. Oops, I dropped one. No freebies. You gotta work. Sit. Super dog. Now, in between feeding her, I'm taking my hand a little bit further away, creating some more stability. Okay, in the position. Zoey, sit. Super sit. Good girl. Good sit. Really nice puppy. Okay. Do a couple more of those. Come here, Zoey. Sit. Wow, good girl. What a good sit. Okay. Do one more. Zoey, sit. Look at you. You are so smart. What a smart puppy. You guys are so tiny. Okay. So you can see a little bit more stability this week than last week because we've been practicing it. We're starting to fade that food lure a little bit too. Now new for this week is the down. So we're still staying pretty close with our food lure for this one. We're going to start the puppy in a sit position, down, and then we're going to lure them straight to the ground. And just like the sit, I am going to feed that puppy a few pieces in a row. Okay, to start to build duration for the behavior. Zoey, sit. Good girl, down. Super. So 2 or 3 treats in a row for being in the down position. The last one, okay, releases them out of position. Let's do that a couple more times. Here, Zoey, let's do it over here. Sit. Down. Super. What a good girl. Okay. Last one. Zoey, sit. Down. Good girl. Wow. Okay. So now we're going to take this down position that they learned this week and we're going to apply it to criteria for the mat. So remember, the mat is going to be a stay behavior, but we build this one in little steps. So step 2, week 2, I'm going to put the mat down on the ground and I'm going to see if the puppy can offer me a down. Yeah, good girl. You guys know what you're doing. Get your little butt down. There you go. Yeah, you're so cute. So just like we did off of the mat, once she finds position, okay, I'm going to mark that and then I'm going to feed her a few in a row to create that duration, to create that stability. But this is, we want it on the mat. Yes, good girl. Super dog. Good job. It's under your foot. You're silly. Okay. Let's do that a couple more times. Wow. Aren't you so smart? This is such a versatile behavior. I really recommend keeping up with this one at home. We lay a nice foundation, but if you really want a solid stay from your dog, you are going to have to keep practicing this one. Okay. Nice. Last time. Great job, puppy. I love to use the mat in the kitchen when I'm cooking. I love to use the mat during meal times for people so that the dog isn't, you know, under the table begging from everybody or If you're like me and you eat in front of the TV, they're not trying to, okay, stick their nose on your plate while you're eating. Good girl. You like polite dogs, yes. All right. What do you think? Where's your toy? Get it. Get it. Remember, once the puppy is like on it, or if they're biting it, just like gentle opposition for the tug. I don't want to like just steal it right away from the dog. That's not fun for them. I want the puppy to think that they're like big and strong, you know? That's what's fun for the dog. Keep that toy. He's gonna get away from you. Good girl. Good girl. All right, I'm gonna take it again. All right, next new thing for this week is teaching the puppies about the crate. Okay, now these dogs have been sleeping in the crate at night. However, we also want to teach them to go into the crate and come out when we ask them. Okay, kennel. Good job. So you can see these puppies are all doing great down there. I'm going to open up the door. I'm going to ask the dog to get into the kennel. Once they go in, I mark that with the clicker, drop a few treats inside, and then, okay, release them out. Do that a few times. Kennel. Super. Good puppy. All right, and so when I'm raising a puppy, whether I'm playing crate games like this during a training session, or if it's because I need to lock the puppy in the crate because I'm leaving the house, I put the puppy in the crate the same exact way every single time. Okay. If I am leaving the house, instead of using just little treats like this, kennel, maybe I will use something that's going to last the dog a little bit longer, like a Kong. Stuff it with a little bit of wet food, a couple tablespoons of wet food, and then I'll say kennel, puppy goes in, I reward them with the Kong for going in. Now they're sitting and working on something. Okay, building positive associations with being kenneled while I'm leaving the house. Then we have a dog that doesn't resent the fact that they're being closed up in the box while somebody is leaving, okay? So I do that every single time I put the puppy in the crate to close them in. So I can create a dog who's okay with being left alone. Right here. And I do this right off the bat, right? Like I want this part of my puppy's routine right away. Okay. So if I get a new puppy, I leave the house the next day. I don't stay home with the puppy and then like a weekend try to leave the house because, yeah, you got that last one. Good girl. Because then your dog is going to struggle with it. Whatever your routine is, you start that routine right away. Okay. As soon as the puppy comes home. What a good job. That was great. All right, so now we're going to give Zoe some harness time. Okay, girlfriend, ready? Good girl. Oh, I think that you're the big harness now, if you weren't already last week. These puppies are growing. By big harness, this is still an extra small, okay? So they're still very little puppies. There we go. All right, and if your puppy gets a little wiggle wormy like Zoe just did when I was getting the harness on, I'm just gonna wait to set Zoe down until she settles again, right? This is how we create a calm puppy. If I put her down while she's struggling, then she's gonna think that struggling works to be put down, okay? Like I talked about last week, I still don't wanna like abuse the fact that I can pick the dog up, so I'm not doing it all of the time, but I do need to pick the dog up to put the harness on. So she gets a little wiggly, now she's nice and calm. Now I'm gonna set her down, good girl. And pair it with something fun, right? Like you have to get your harness dressed on you sometimes. And as soon as I set you down, once you're calm, then you can, okay, chase some cookies on the ground maybe. Zoe, okay. Or we can play with your toys again for a second. Here's your toy. Here's your toy. Good girl, where is it? In a second here, I'll grab some more food and we'll do some of our behaviors with her harness on too. We start to do that this week. Good girl. Where is it? Good job, Zoe. Good girl. everything is finding a balance, right? Like again, I don't want to just pick the puppy up all the time, willy-nilly, just because I can. But sometimes I have to, and when I have to, or if I need to move you or something like that, or if I have to put your harness on, then I want you to be okay with it. All right. Let's do some of our things. Zoe, where's my clicker? Where did it go? Where did I put it? Here it is, hiding. Ready? Okay. Good girl. Zoe, sit. Super. Did you know what I wanted? Down. Good girl. Good down. Okay. Zoe, touch. Good job. Okay. Zoe. Everything's just a little harder. Sit with the harness on. Good girl. Okay. Good job, girlfriend. That was great. All right, I got one more thing to show you. I am going to take her harness off. So we're going to work on grooming tools now. That's what we introduced for our handling exercises this week. Last week we worked on some body handling. So, you know, those are, I'm still doing that. But now I've just added in some of our grooming tools. So I've got the brush and the nail clippers here. I'm getting down on the ground with these puppies. If that's not comfortable for you to do, you can always pick the puppy up and put them up onto a surface if that's easier for you. I have this mat down on the ground for my knees. This is not for the puppies, this is for me. Ready? So I'm gonna get her hooked onto that food lure like we did last week for our handling exercises, but this week I'm gonna take the brush and I'm just gonna start to pet her. Yes. Do a couple of strokes, mark and reward. Okay. Yes, I usually start like on their back because that's a little bit more of a neutral space. Do a couple strokes. Yes. Then you can start to take the brush. Yeah, what is that? Is that funny? Sometimes they think the grooming tools are a toy. Ready? Okay. Then you start to take the brush and brush them all over. So you can do legs, right? Oh, that's silly. Get it, get it, get it. Okay. Yes. Good girl. Okay. So just a couple of strokes right now. I'm just introducing the brush to the puppy. Then I'm going to take our nail clippers. Yes. And I'm just touching them to her foot. As you can see. Yes. Good girl. Yes. Super dog. Yes. We got tail wagging the whole time. Good girl. Okay. Right. Now, if you decide that you want to leave nail clipping up to your groomer, up to the vet, like no big deal. That's fine with that. They'll have to go on a regular basis. But the brushing, you should have a brush. You should be brushing these puppies in between grooming appointments because you don't want them to get matted in between. I still recommend doing this exercise though, yes, where you're touching something to your puppy's feet just so they, yes, get used to that. You can use even something like a fork. Just a novel object that you're practice bringing to the dog, yes, and touching them with it so they get used to being handled in that way, okay? The brush, you should have one, yes, and you should be brushing your dog in between grooming appointments, okay? Because if your dog gets matted or gets a mat in between and then you take them to the groomer, okay, it could be uncomfortable, it could even be a little painful for them to get that mat out or whatever, and then your puppy's making a not so great association with the grooming process, okay, and we don't want them to start to resent it. All right, so Zoe did fantastic for her week 2 recap. My Zoom availability is open to book. Marissa, who's also been working with the puppies, and you'll see her in the recap video for week 3. You can also book a Zoom lesson with Marissa if my availability doesn't match yours. If you have any questions, shoot us an email, but we will see you next week.